Hello, my name is Battle, and today I'm going to be experimenting by putting a betta fish in with my green iguana. Same enclosure, betta fish, and a green iguana. And if this works out, which I'm sure it will, there will be many more fish going in a huge enclosure with my green iguana, so stay tuned for that. But for now, just a betta fish. It's going to be pretty interesting. On October 20th of 2019, I received a betta fish from my friend. He had taken it in from somebody else and he had it in a critter keeper, and he gave it to me because I like fish and he didn't feel like taking care of it anymore. So I set it up in a 10-gallon tank, as you're about to see, and it's been housed with a turtle since then for a short while, and you'll see that as well. And now it will be in with my iguana. So it's lived quite a life, and the reason that I don't keep it in my community fish tank is because I already have another male betta in that 55-gallon, and I wouldn't want them fighting or anything like that. So I'm just going to go ahead and put him in with my iguana because I want to, like I said in the intro, I want to test some things out, see how it goes for the future for bigger, much bigger projects. So let's get started. On October 20th, I just grabbed a 10-gallon, filled it up, and made that his new home. So here we have Timothy, the betta, I'm not exactly sure. He's sitting right under there. I had a bigger piece of wood in here that he liked to hide on. But there's just a bunch of detritus and stuff in this tank. So I had actually gotten 3 guppies in, and basically, I had to move all the fish tanks out of my room. So at some point, I put him and my small turtle, Petey, together because I also had to move Petey out. And they did just fine together. Petey didn't try to mess with the betta. The betta didn't freak out about Petey or anything. But Petey's currently dry docking for, I'm treating his shell rot. He had shell rot when I took him in or whatever. So now I put the 3 guppies that were in another 10-gallon of quarantine, and I put them in with this betta, but this betta kind of attacked them, so it actually ended up killing one. I didn't really realize it was attacking them. It didn't really seem to be bothering them at all. But then after looking, the other one also was kind of roughed up. So I went ahead and put those 2 guppies into this tank with the rest of the community fish, and the reason that I hadn't added them earlier is because of the quarantine process, but they're pretty much good now. So there's one right there, and then there's another one down there somewhere, but like I said, there's another betta in here as well, so that's why I'm not putting Timothy in there. So now what I'm going to be doing is I'll take Timothy's tank, drain it down, and put it into the iguana's cage. Now the iguana's cage is currently empty, and the reason for that is because it was leaking. So we're going to have to reseal it before we make it into a crested gecko enclosure, because that's what this is going to be. And the iguana is going to be going into a new enclosure, like I said, bigger, with a much bigger water area. So this is kind of a test for that. So right now he has this, but now he'll have the 10-gallon tank. I'm just going to set it right there. Right now there's just some rocks and stuff. It's all very temporary, but he doesn't really seem to mind very much, and I'm sure he won't mind me messing around with this tank. So I'm going to take down that tank now and just plop it in here. I started off by cleaning up the iguana's cage a little bit. Just the bottom had been dirty because I just recently scraped out all the dirt. So I just tried to clear it because I was about to put this 10-gallon aquarium inside. So I took the aquarium, drained it a whole bunch so then I could just set it down in, and then went ahead and filled it back up with new clean water. And Charlie didn't seem to mind any of this too much, so that's a good sign, I think. And I added a driftwood piece just in case Charlie ever had any difficulties getting out of the tank. I wouldn't want him to have any difficulties with that. That wouldn't be good. So for now, I think this is all right. It'll be interesting to see how Charlie really reacts to it. But like I said at the beginning, this is just a test, so this doesn't look nice at all. None of this enclosure does not look nice. But honestly, I just didn't want this to be where it was before, and I figured I could just throw it in here because it wouldn't really be hurting anything. So again, it's a test, just to see how Charlie will like it or dislike it. But I think it's a pretty neat idea, and it will be so much better when I do it on a larger scale. It's not even like it can be done at this scale. I mean, this is really big enclosure, but just the crappily way I threw it together isn't that great. But again, it's all just because it's temporary, it's a test, it's not, this wasn't my plan ever. So imagine something like this, just much bigger, as I keep saying, as well as probably a really cool waterfall, I'm thinking, and just some really cool things that I've planned. So it'll be interesting, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video, this temporary setup type of thing for now, and have a fantastic day.